Hi, everyone. My name is Suzanne O'Brien, and we have another co-collaborating host interview. Today, we have Veronica Larraya, and she is the founder of the Wise Humanity Summit, and that is an incredible summit. I really wanted to share her wonderful heart and work that she's doing. And again, she is a co-collaborating host for the Death Doula World Training Day happening on April 20th. So let's jump right in. Thank you so much for being here, Veronica. And I love your platform and work so very much. So can you please just share a bit about how you started and why you started the Wise Humanity Summit, please?
Yes, thank you, Suzanne, for inviting me here. It's such an honor to be involved in this, for me, very important event and work that you do.
Thank you
With
so much.
naturalizing death and embracing it to feel fully alive. I feel like it's totally like that, as you have said to me before. And yeah, Wise Humanity Summit was born after a physical event, a presential event in Sweden that is All Generations Festival, Conscious Parenting, that is still happening. And when I was there, in between different people of all ages and honoring each stage of life and the wisdom within each of us, I could be for those 5 days in love, in a, like everything went like a slow motion.
Yes.
And it was actually similar to the feeling that I had when I gave birth to both my children. This known time and love, and it was so big, and yeah, it was so big what it happened. The children coming and saying, "Wow, I feel like I can really be me." Elders talking and seeing how we could connect beyond generations, no, beyond
Yes.
our stage of life, and that for me was very powerful. And how can we nurture each other in that? So the next year it was postponed because of the COVID, and I had all this bubbling within me, and I felt like actually it was bigger than even the presential experience that was very rich, but I
Yes.
could be, much bigger. So I started developing the Wise Humanity Summit. That in the beginning I wasn't sure what it was going to be, and the rites of passage is something that I consider very important for human maturation. In this stepping into the stage of life I am, I'm in,
Yes.
with fully embracement and letting die what I'm, what has been, and I don't want to continue to develop. Be grateful and step into the unknown, and with presence, and
Yes.
so that for me was really important. So that's why humanity came in, and to put light in all of those big transitions in life, from birth to death and in between, so that we can really know what, also that create understanding, because I believe a lot comes from understanding, because we for working with, living with head, heart and hand, we need to understand. Also we need to invite our mind, and not like, it's not like sometimes we can
Yes.
be in a role of like annoyment, but actually if we feed the mind with nurturing information,
Yes.
and then understand them, we can really take steps in that direction.
It's
So that was,
it was wonderful, and I heard feedback, such wonderful feedback about it. And also, I feel like right now we're all being called. We're all being called to elevate, to wake up, and to connect with the consciousness, with the planet, with animals, with humanity. And your summit is so beautiful. So I hope that's going to be an every year event. No pressure, but because it just puts out so much great information. And I love the fact that you said, you're in Uruguay, right? And where I'm right now in the United States, but because of the internet, because of COVID, we really have made, again, just larger global families in this common denominator of life and humanity and oneness. Yeah, beautiful. So why did you feel that you wanted to be a co-collaborating host for World Training Day? Why did you think that's something that's important?
well, yeah, I mean, for me it was a radical yes. Like it was like yes, no doubt. I feel like death is and birth, they are the two biggest rites of passage in life, and birth started to get its place. A lot of people is birthing home, and there's a lot of information, but about death and about how to accompany someone who is dying, and about honoring this birthing your soul out of your body. I felt that it needs to be expanded. No, I mean, I feel the calling to become an end of life doula, and I really want to do it this year with you.
Yes.
And yeah, and for me, death is like, it happens every day, it happens all the time, but we actually don't give the how do you say, like the real value, or the real importance of the beauty and that it has. It's like something that people fear. There's a lot of layers around it that you cannot see through death. And I can tell you that, yeah, for me, this work that you're doing now with the World Training Day is super valuable. It's something that I mean, it's spreading like a lot, because people need it. People want this. It's like, you cannot live everyday life with fear of dying. It's like embracing death. It's like, I mean, I see you that you work with death, and you're like one of the people I know with more energy and joy, and it's like you are there in this portal of wonderment.
You wouldn't always think that, and it's interesting because I often say the minute that I started working for hospice as a nurse, a long time ago, I learned how to fully live completely. It taught me everything about life. It taught me about reinforcing presence and compassion and the connectedness. And just gratitude, every single moment in our day of gratitude, because there's so much to be grateful for. So it really is a life training, but it is end of life. And again, it's something that we're all going to experience, and there are practical things that we can share with people. And my hope is to help reduce the fear of death and let it be our greatest teacher about life and togetherness. So the training is really beautiful, and it's been, again, used, and it can lift you. It's very uplifting. So thank you for being a co-host collaborator. I love that so very much. And for me, I want to ask you, what do you feel that we could possibly gain in a big picture, in a global society, if we have trainings like this available for people for free anywhere in the world, that we can learn these foundational truths? How do you see that could potentially shift our world in a positive way?
If we learn this, I mean, in our daily lives, I see it as I said before, no, like maturing and embracing our life as we grow up, and then in relationship to the actual dying of ourselves or others, I feel that it will be more like joy around it, and there will be more like gratitude. And I feel gratitude is actually one of the things that emerge a lot from death. It's like the death is like soil for gratitude and love, no, or for what has been, what we have been in contact with, and that liberates us as well. So I feel like more healthy relationships with others that come not from like no, I don't know how to say, not like an unhealthy attachment, but more like I love you as you are,
Yes.
where you are, when you are,
Yeah.
wherever you are. It's this.
Yes.
There is this gratitude and love. It's like freedom in a way. I feel it. That's the sensation I feel, and I imagine in accompanying people living with this feeling of like gratitude and love is. I mean, I feel
Okay, my eyes are watering because I'm so moved, and this is so important for people to hear, is that if we could learn to meet each other where we are, not want to change people, just love each other with no judgment, where we are in our journey, because everyone's at a different place, and accept people for who they are and have that open heart. Wow. And you know what? End of life teaches us that, because like you started today talking, the mind is one thing, the heart is another. And so for people to understand that we're these holistic beings, which means there's four different parts of us: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. And when you're thinking with the head, that's intellect, it's program. But when you're thinking with the heart, That is the all expansive, beautiful space. And I feel like our world right now is thinking with its head and the ego, and that's where we're seeing the destruction and chaos. And if we can get back into our hearts, wow. And that's what your summit, I feel, really shares. And again, what this training and World Training Day, the platform, is about as well. I love it.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity for everyone to connect with this. It's like it's crucial, I think, in these times.
I think I feel so too, and yeah, and I feel extremely honored and obligated, and also a real responsibility, since I've worked in this space for so long, that to get out my information that I know, because it can really, and it has changed people's experiences. And so if it changes one and helps them, great, but if it's doing it for tens of thousands, and that's really wonderful. So we want to bring that together. So I know that people want to know so much more about your Wise Humanity Summit. So how can they find out more about you, what you're doing?
Well, the website of wisehumanitysummit.com. I mean, people can still get access to the summit. And this year in November, we're gonna have like a deepening, you can say, like there will be more interviews, but we also will have like interactions so that we can really integrate. For me, it has been now all this time after the summit, integrating what I received from the interviews. It's like every day in my daily life, it's like coming up things from different moments. So I have learned a lot in experiencing what it was said and what it was felt during the event. So you can find me there. And also I have a website called iamnature.se, iamnature.se, where I also share like birth stories and of people who had a birth experience like at home mostly, and without interventions. And yes, this being born. And also we are creating an eco-village with a rites of passage center for elders, which the people living there will be elders. We want to honor the elders in the community where I live. So we've been saving some money from the Wise Humanity Summit to slowly create the organization and get the land and start building. And now, also inspired by your work, we want to create an area of departure and an area of arrivals. So we're gonna have a death and birth center there, and multi-generational events and center too.
That is so beautiful. I cannot wait to see that, and I cannot wait to help you in any which way that I can. So that's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much for all the positivity you do. We'll put your links below so people can see them and follow up with you. And of course, we will continue to follow you and share what you're doing, the beautiful work. And thank you for being a co-collaborating host on the Death Doula World Training Day on April 20th. Thank you so much, Veronica.
Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Much
All
love.
right. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget, April 20th, you can sign up, World Training Day, and we will see you there. Thanks, everybody.